Starting a business, moving abroad, and creating content. I feel like these are three things that everyone in our generation like feels like they want to start at some point. At least one of those three. I'd say at least 99.9% tick one of those boxes. So luckily today we're here with Rebecca, who's done all three. So I'd like you can introduce yourself.
Hey guys, my name's Rebecca. I'm 22. I moved abroad to Madrid when I was 18 years old to study abroad at IU University. I got my degree in digital media and communications, and my graduation ceremony is actually in a week from today. Basically, I started working online when I was, I think, 17 years old, because I started off at Starbucks and I was actually scrubbing toilets. Like I was like scrubbing toilets. I had all of like the horrible work because I was the youngest one there. And I realized I didn't want to trade my time for money anymore. Like if I wanted to eat a burger from In-N-Out, it would cost an hour of my life. And I was like, that is fucked up. So I started working online in influencer management. Backstory to that. Can I tell my whole little spiel, or are we
Tell your spiel. Spiel. Yeah, of course.
Backstory to that. I did this photo shoot, this random little photo shoot, and I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw someone talk about doing influencer management, and I was like, I bet I can do that. If that girl can do it, I can do it. So I reached out to random influencers and I was like, hey, if you pay me $150 a week and I take 20%, if you pay me $150 a week and I'll take 20% commission from all the deals I get you, like, how does that sound? And she was like, okay. And so then I just started building up an army of influencers paying me $150 a week, and I was getting commissions, and I was like, wow, I can make a lot of money. And then I got tired of working with influencers because they're so irritating. Right. They're so annoying. So then I did influencer marketing, social media management, social media marketing. And about 6 years later to where I'm at now, I have a business called The Creator Pod, where we help people work online, build their personal brand, and learn how to monetize their current brand and travel, because that's what I'm doing. I have an event company in Madrid called Link, where we help women make new friends and we build community. And then I do my own travel content creation, because I haven't been in one place for more than 3 weeks in like 4 years.
Yeah. What an intro. I think moving abroad, especially kind of when you moved abroad, what was it, 18? Yeah, I was 18 years old?
Freshly hatched 18.
Freshly hatched 18. That's a kind of pivotal age where so many people, I guess like people who you've made friends with as well, like in Madrid, like that's a time where like people are contemplating, do I move abroad? Like, do I not move abroad?
Yeah.
So like what was, I guess like, what kind of drove you to make that decision? Because going from LA to Madrid, that's not the same as going from like, you know, your neighboring country. That's across half the world. Yeah,
I think I just wanted to get as far away from home as possible, and I thought another continent might be far enough. And I don't know. I normally think a lot about decisions, but this was really, I didn't think about it. I was like, oh, I want to study abroad in Spain. Cool. I found a school, I applied, and that was literally it. The only thing I thought about was like, do I stay for my ex-boyfriend? And my English teacher was like, don't fucking do that. You're so stupid.
Yeah. What was it that like, what drew you to that kind of, you know, what attracted you to moving abroad in the position you were at when you were 18?
I don't know. I was honestly deciding between UCLA, UCSB, and the school I went to in Madrid. I didn't apply to many schools. I was just like, I know I wanted to learn Spanish. I wanted to connect more with like my roots. I know Spain is not Mexico, but I wanted to find that. I have no idea, but I'm just so glad I did it. I'm so glad I pushed myself to move abroad. I'm also naturally quite independent. Like I moved out when I was 16 for a while, and I think it felt right in the moment.
And do you think it paid off? Like what
yes,
would you
100 million, 1,000%.
So what would you say to someone, I guess, like who's also in that kind of position, you know, like you were?
Yeah.
But like a lot of people, you know, you say that it was just a decision you made and you just thought, you didn't even think much of it and you just went for it.
Yeah.
Like so many people have that kind of voice in their mind that's kind of like, wow, that's a big decision to make.
It is a big decision. And I think what holds people back from moving abroad is fear. You know, so a lot of the things that are best for you, that promote change, that give you the opportunity to flourish and attract new people and experiences in your life are the scariest things. And just because it's scary and just because it's hard does not mean it's wrong. And I tell that to a lot of my friends. Like a lot of people are really uncomfortable with change, but I find that like I gravitate towards change because that's where you grow the most. And at least for me, I'm so hungry to become this like best version of myself, to experience everything, to meet everyone, to do all these things. And in that period of uncomfortableness is when you grow and you kind of individuate into the self.
Yeah.
And of course, I didn't realize that in the exact moment. That wasn't my thought process. It was more like I was in a really shitty situation. How do I get out of it?
Right.
And I'm so glad I left. Like, my home environment wasn't good. My relationship environment wasn't good. I had no friends. I had no sense of self. I was super insecure. That was like the hardest decision I ever made, honestly. That was so fucking hard.
Do you think it was the best decision you ever made?
Yeah. Like, I've experienced a lot of like death in my family, and that was harder. That was just like within the self, you know, because moving abroad and moving out of your home environment, and like I literally moved. I had no friends, no community. I knew absolutely no one, nor did I have any sense of self either. So I was just like thrown into the abyss. I'm actually in another phase of being thrown into the abyss, but I have the tools that I need to survive it.
You have the experience of the abyss. So you kind of know, like,
it's like when you go through your first breakup, you think it's the end of the world. Oh my God, I'm never going to find love again. And then you get through it. And now your second one, you know, you're going to be okay.
How was that, like, the first, I guess, that experience of, you know, when you actually kind of packed your bags and you left and you kind of moved into your Madrid apartment for the first time? I guess, how was that experience? And like, or even like the first kind of year there, like how long did it take for you to eventually like find your feet? And I guess like, what would you say to like people who are even maybe they've just moved abroad, and they're kind of feeling like, damn, this was like, they're starting to question their decision. Maybe they're not kind of finding the right friend groups, or like, how was that? How did you kind of be able to find your feet with that?
Well, I was actually at rock bottom. I remember having like a journal entry. I was like, I don't even know what kind of music I like, because at that point I was leaving a really toxic relationship where I lost my whole I didn't even have a sense of self. And so that made it just 10 times harder because I wasn't grounded within myself. So like, I'm like, I can't even describe how terrifying that was. And it took me, at least for the first 6 months, I had a really hard time. I had a really hard time finding genuine friendships. I wanted to leave for that whole year. I really wanted to leave. Really? And I honestly didn't find my like people, quote unquote, until recently. But the more that I find myself and the more I do the work on myself, the more I attract the people and the experiences more aligned with me. So I think it's really dependent on where a student or a person's at in their life. But regardless, you're going to be okay, because at least for me, I think the journey of life is just like learning all these different lessons to then come back to yourself. It's just a journey back to the self of understanding the self, you know?
I guess like, do you think like when you were in those spaces that you wanted to leave, like what kind of made you stay? And do you think it was even like how far you moved from all the way from LA to Madrid? Like, I mean, this is something completely different, but when I was at uni in Brighton, that was away from home, but that was only an hour train. So like if I got upset or if I was like kind of sick of my friends or whatever, I'd take the train back to like, was it kind of also the inaccessibility of kind of just being able to just go home? Or
I knew I would be able to go home. I just like, it was like picking between two shitty options. It was like, I go home and feel like shit, or I stay here and feel like shit, and at least have the opportunity to feel better. Yeah. And also, if I went home, I would have had to pay for the full tuition of the uni because I got a scholarship. 75%.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm a very, like, I don't give up on myself, and I'm a very like fighter personality. Yeah. If you couldn't tell.
So what was it that like kind of, you say like you kind of learned yourself and all this kind of stuff, like was there a particular like time when you realized, okay, things are actually starting to change, like in, you know, moving abroad, like your experience was just starting to change, or you had like a different outlook?
Yeah, I've had a lot of like really pivotal moments where I'm like, wow, especially this past year, like, oh my God, so much has changed for me. So when I first moved there, I was binge eating every night. I was crying every day. I was partying, drinking, doing all of the things. I was still journaling and meditating, but I did not feel good. I didn't feel good in my body. I didn't feel good in myself. I had a really fucking hard time. I started getting my footing probably 6 months in, but like the first 3 months were brutal. I gained like 20 pounds. I'd never seen myself so heavy. I'd never felt so shitty. if you know me now, you know, like, I'm very particular about my food. I'm very like, don't put oil and don't eat this and I don't eat greens and I don't, you know. Yeah. Then I ate McDonald's, okay? Right. Like, that is crazy to me too. Whatever. I ate McDonald's. I never forgot this one night. I probably binge ate 10,000 calories. Let me tell you what I ate. Ready?
Is that actually even...
Just listen to this.
Okay, go on.
I ordered 2 Big Macs from McDonald's.
Yeah.
Plus the fries, a whole pizza. My friend got a 2-for-1 deal with like stir, pot, fry, whatever, like the noodles.
Yeah.
He gave me the second one. I was like, fuck yeah. Go to the store, tub of mint chocolate chip ice cream. Okay. There's a store in Spain called Mercadona. Mm-hmm. Really good. Okay. I got the ice cream. But I live
on around 5,000-6,000 now, maybe.
But I live on a street that has just food store after food store. So I went to town, okay? I hopped into Starbucks. I asked them to bake a cookie. Then there was this ice cream place I wanted to try. I got a yogurt. And then after I was so full, I was going to explode. I went home. And I went to bed. And I woke up and I felt like shit.
Jesus.
And that was probably rock bottom for me.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, now I understand why I was filling that void with food. Because like I've done all of this work where food meant love in my life. And I was lacking all of that. So I'd fill the void with food. And it's this whole thing. I guess the point of this is moving abroad and making those hard decisions is probably the most uncomfortable thing and the scariest thing that you can do. But it's like the most freeing and liberating part when you get to the other side of it. It's like when you're hiking to the top of a mountain, right? It's really hard to do the trek and you probably want to go down and you want to take a break and you're tired. But then when you get to the top and you see the view and you see all the things that you just see the outcome and wow, I did all of this. It all pays off. So
it's a good soundbite.
Yeah.
A little clip there.
Yeah.
What was like, I guess it's interesting you say that, like it took you 6 months because some people who may have moved abroad already, like they're already 2 months in and they still feel like, damn, I felt bad for 2 whole months. Like I'm not going to get better. Like 6 months is like a long time, I guess.
It is a long time. It was excruciatingly long. Of course I had friends that filled that void, but because back then I did that. Like now I would never hang out with people just to fill the space that aren't aligned with me. But then I didn't even know what it meant to be aligned with something. You know, it's like, what's interesting is it's human nature to have issues. Like we consistently seek out problems, right? Our biggest problem with our ancestors was like surviving and survival. Yeah. And it's crazy how even a notification from your boss can trigger that fight or flight mode. And it's so easy to lose perspective. It's so easy to forget to have gratitude for all of the things. Like I always feel, even when something feels really intense and uncomfortable and upsetting and negative, it's like, it's all for your greater good. Everything that you're experiencing is just to teach you something and to learn your lessons. Like even, I've journaled on this a lot, like my mom dying, that is still a part of my journey. Like her passing away needed to happen for me to learn what I needed to learn in this lifetime, as negative and as painful as it is. And I think if we view everything from a place of like, this is just for my growth and for my learning, it makes life a little bit more bearable because it's like how lucky you are to be able to cry so deeply about someone you loved or to be able to feel this pain, because then that allows you to feel love and happiness so much more intensely and have more appreciation for it.
Yeah. Would you like to play a little game?
I'd love to play a little game.
This is Finish the Sentence Moving Abroad edition.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
that's creative.
Yeah, right? I was actually really proud when I thought of this one.
ASMR. That water made my stomach hurt. I think it's tap water.
Finish the Sentence Moving Abroad edition. The biggest lie about moving abroad is
that it's all fun and there's no hard part to it.
Nice. And say the sentence as well. Say.
Oh, do you want me to say the full sentence?
No, we'll go to the next one. I should explain the rules first. The thing I never expected to miss when moving abroad was?
The thing I never expected to miss when moving abroad. The thing I never expected to miss when moving abroad was the ocean. I didn't even appreciate it till I left. And I am I feel like I'm a fish out of water when I'm stuck in Madrid. I'm landlocked and I'm just like suffocating and pimple breaking out and puffy and ew.
Wow. Next question. if I stayed in my hometown, now I would be.
If I stayed in my hometown, now I would probably not be alive. I'm so fucking for real.
Wait. You can't say that then make that face.
I've been in therapy my whole life. I'm good with difficult things still.
Okay.
But yeah, I was having a really hard time at home.
So moving abroad, like
It's literally moving to Madrid saved my life in every way possible. Like moving to Madrid saved my life, changed my life, allowed me to individuate. I probably would have had that individuation experience anywhere abroad, but like I needed that.
Like, do you think, like, for people, because I never moved abroad, but moving abroad is something I still like really want to do. Like, just even from traveling, like solo traveling and stuff like that, I think you gain a lot of skills.
You have the traveler's mindset. Like that's why we became friends so quickly. Like when you're traveling so often, you start to meet all these people that are aligned with you and have the same interests and have the same goals and have this same drive to explore and to, especially when you go to like harder locations to arrive to. Like in Costa Rica, my favorite place on earth, Santa Teresa. Like everyone there is this digital nomad, wellness, surf vibe, and I feel so at home there. But yeah, the traveler's mindset and that perspective is something so big. Like that's why you meet all these aligned people.
Like, do you think even the people in kind of the other international students, do they kind of have?
No.
You don't think so?
9.
9.
No, because like a lot of there's very few Americans at my school, and a lot of the students are just like their parents threw them there, and
I see. Yeah. So it
they're
wasn't
from Europe.
It wasn't their own decision.
Well, they're from Europe, and it's like, oh, I can just go home for the week in 2 hours. Like, yeah, let me go home for the weekend. Fucking 12-hour flight and 2 planes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like, and needless to say, though, there are people that have a similar mindset at my school, but I feel like the majority are Europeans. So.
Yeah, hell to the Europeans. That's what you're trying to say. Do you think? Because sometimes I feel. Maybe you felt the same way as well when you're in LA, but sometimes it starts feeling like your hometown is kind of your like the world. Like it's hard to like visualize much outside your hometown. So if things are going badly, maybe this is just I'm sure there's like similar experiences out there, but if things are going badly, like just things are kind of meh in general, it feels like there's nothing outside of your hometown. Your hometown is like everything. And then when you actually leave, you realize like it kind of feels like refreshing. It feels like, oh my God, like you're meeting people that kind of, like you were saying, align with you. Maybe if your friendships aren't going well in like a hometown, but then you like travel somewhere and then you meet all these different people with like completely different perspectives that you would have had or that people you would have met in your hometown. Like that's, for me, even though I haven't moved abroad, I can kind of like, that's kind of the side I can really like, that really attracts me. It's particularly the people that you meet.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. Okay, fill the sentence. Ready?
Fill the sentence.
The
one
I got one for you.
Oh, you got one for me? Okay.
Uno reverse. Okay. Through traveling, I've learned.
Through traveling, I've learned. Oh, well, I just said that would have been my... Okay. Oh, you put me on the spot. Through traveling, I've learned that everything isn't your hometown.
Oh, wait. Sorry. I have a better question. Okay.
Was that not a good answer?
No, because you just said that.
Okay.
I'll think on it. You go next.
Okay, yeah. Let me go to mine. The one excuse for not moving abroad that doesn't make sense is...
That you're scared. Fuck being scared. Just...
Elaborate.
I mean, I kind of touched on this before. I feel like people let fear hold them back from the things that they're meant to do and the people they're meant to meet. You know, like I think we're in a world of abundance. There's an abundant amount of humans to love and to connect with and opportunities. And I see so many people, because this is what I do for work, right? We help people follow their dreams and work online and do their goals. And the main thing that holds people back is fear. I'm too scared because what if I fail? What if you succeed? You know, like our go-to, I feel like, for everything is no, or I'm scared, I don't want to do it, or I'm uncomfortable. For me personally, if I died tomorrow, I don't want to die knowing I didn't try my fucking hardest to be the best version of myself, to be the kindest person I could be, to achieve all of my goals. Because I had a friend, I'll give you an example. I have a friend, and he was in a work situation he didn't really like, working at a, regular 9-to-5 job, making minimum wage. And I was like, he's young, no attachments, no wife, no kids, nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why don't you go follow your dreams? You know you don't want to be doing this. And he's like, I don't know, like this and that. I'm like, you can always go back to the shitty job. It's not going anywhere. You can always go back to work a 9-to-5. You can always go back to making $10 an hour at McDonald's. But you never are going to have this opportunity to invest in yourself and follow your dreams as much as you do right now. Right? It's like that shitty situation, I promise, will be waiting for you. It's not going to...
It may not be waiting for them. If they lose their job and then they decide to, like, I guess what you're saying is correct. Like, risk their safe situation for, like, a more kind of uncertain situation, but that will have, like
but it's not a risk, because if you have an unwavering belief that you will succeed, you will succeed.
So tell us, how do we get this unwavering belief that we'll succeed?
Well, you have to break down, like, your limiting beliefs and your limiting mindset. My co-founder, Jerry, he's awesome in this. Like, I wish he was here. He's so smart with the mindset, and he's worked me through a lot of I even have limiting beliefs. I sometimes even experience imposter syndrome when I'm doing things. But it's like, did you read the book I told you to buy, Psycho-Cybernetics? You literally purchased it.
I think I did, yes.
Well, then let me jog your memory.
Okay. Just don't jog it too much. Maybe let's stay to chapter 1.
Chapter fucking 1. Whatever. Anyways, this all comes back. Psycho-Cybernetics is written by a plastic surgeon.
Yes, I remember.
And the plastic surgeon, the premise of the book is that your brain has a creative success mechanism that's working towards a goal, whether you're aware of it or not. I would say it's the more like scientific explanation to manifesting. It's like if you have this negative belief that's driving you, but you don't realize, your brain's working towards that negative goal, right? So if you're like, oh, I'm a fucking failure, you're going to just continue to fail no matter what you do, because you have that deep down belief that you will fail. And this guy would change people's faces completely. New face, beautiful, whatever. And if they believe that they were ugly, continue to attract the experiences confirming that they're ugly. So the point is, like, if you believe that you're going to succeed, you will just find a way to make it work. I've never failed in something that I've just never failed in anything I've done. I've always found a way to find success.
So do you think the main thing that's like stopping people from succeeding is actually just their own...
Yourself. You're your own roadblock in everything. Like, my dad, for example, he grew up super poor. No one helped him. He literally started from below zero, probably like underground, okay? And he's built this beautiful life for himself. He literally built it from the ground up with absolutely nothing. So when people give me excuses like, I don't have time, I don't know how, I can't figure it out, I'm not gonna succeed. What I just hear is, I don't want it bad enough to make it work. Like, I'm not the friend to complain to. None of my friends come to me to complain about things not working or them not doing their goals, because I'm just gonna be like, well, then you don't want it. Because if you did, you would have it.
We're already going on to like the business side of things.
I've been waiting to talk about this all day.
There's a lot to come. We just have one more. Finish the sentence. So, okay, the uni dorm is.
Oh, the uni dorm is the best. The uni dorm is the best platform for students and grads to make sense of everything at the moment. Seriously, you really gotta follow the uni dorm! Exclamation point.
Exclamation point. It sounded like you were reading something off a screen.
Yeah, so weird.
What the hell?
Never do that.
What were the big culture shocks that you experienced?
Ooh, good question. I experienced a lot of culture shocks. Like, I remember my first week there, I went to go shopping in Primor. And it was just, at the time, I wasn't like 100% fluent in Spanish. So it was really, like, I didn't know what sometimes they were saying at the checkout. The stores were super different, like how everything was situated. And I was just like crying in that store. I was like so frustrated. But definitely culture shocks for me was, first of all, everything is like 10 times later. So like all the stores open later, the sun sets later in the summer. There's siesta in the smaller stores. I found that there was also a language barrier, like Mexican Spanish is different from Spain Spanish. There was also an integration shock because I have experienced that the Spanish aren't the most welcoming, especially to Americans. Like they don't really like Americans there, which completely understandable, right? A lot of Americans are not very self-aware, spatially aware, very loud, very like, I would just say inconsiderate, and don't know anything about Europe. So I get it. Experienced culture shocks using public transport because in LA you take a car, you take an Uber everywhere, right? At least where I'm from. But but you know, using the bus for the first time. I remember I was like trying to go to school, and if I would have missed this bus, I would be late to class. And I didn't know you had to flag the bus down to stop for you. So I'm waiting there for 15 minutes. He comes and just drives by me, and I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. Or when it was my first day of school, and I took the metro, and I got off on the other side of a highway, and I had to run across a highway to get to class. I experienced culture shocks in terms of interacting with other students. Because in America, I feel like everyone's really friendly, jokey, like...
I think so, yeah. I can...
And I think my first experience interacting with other cultures, or like Germans or French people, was really intense. Like, oh my God.
Who's the most intense culture?
Ooh, intense?
Or like, can you tell the differences between like... Because you go to an international school, are like some maybe people from countries are like more serious or more
Let me tell you. Germans... really closed off, like really, how I would describe Germans is you really got to peel back the layers of the onion to get to, you know?
Yeah.
French people group up with their French, like they don't want to hang out with anyone other than French people. I love Arabs, very like kind, get along, friendly. I love Latinos, like people from Argentina, I get along with so well.
What's like, are they just
it's
more
just,
like welcoming?
They're really warm and touchy and fun. And at least for me personally, like of course, if I was French, I'd probably think that my own culture is great, you know? But at least for me, I find a feeling of safety and home and community within more Latin cultures.
Because I guess people moving to an international school, you're just like surrounded by a ton of different cultures. Which like if you go to a uni in like US, like there's a ton of other cultures, but everyone's
American.
Everyone's American.
Yeah.
What about the British?
Oh, I love Brits. I get along with British people really well. Because I realized my humor is sarcasm, and you guys just hit the nail on the head. Let's get into the fun stuff. Today we're going to discuss everything business, building personal brands, how to work online, my journey, and hopefully by the end of this, you feel confident, prepared to launch your own dream, to pursue your own goals, and kind of figure out how to get started.
Can I take you back?
Take me back.
Take me back.
Take me back.
So you said you started running businesses from, what was it, 17?
I had little businesses my whole life. Like when I was 6, we made like an ice cream website and we were selling ice cream. And I was like going door to door selling bookmarks and selling crafts. And I was doing shows and charging parents €20 entry fee. Like,
seriously?
Yeah.
Wait, what age was this?
That was at like 8 years old. I was doing little shows. I was like always really entrepreneurial. And I think that's something that's just like engraved, like all inside of you. Like all of my friends that are super driven have just always been like that.
Yeah. So how did you like, you know, from the start, I guess after you moved to Madrid, after you moved abroad, did that kind of help you kind of in your entrepreneurial side? Like, did you start kind of having more, I guess, like freedom to start your own businesses? And also, what does it take to actually, without, you know, before you've even started something, say you may even have a vague idea, how do you bring something from a vague idea into like actual reality? Because I think that's the main point. Like we were saying before, you know, the belief bit, that's where people don't, that's where 99.9% of people, you know, kind of stop there. It's at the idea, how do I actually bring this into
how do
fruition?
I start?
Exactly, yeah.
Do you have an idea we can kind of walk through?
I'm a student and I want to start running a tutoring company for math students because I'm really good at maths.
Yeah. Well, first, my thought is start small. It doesn't have to be this whole huge tutoring agency yet, right? So do you have experience as a tutor? You know what you're doing? So do you have clients already?
No.
Okay, so the first step is to get the money, get the clients. It's like when you're hosting a group trip, you don't book anything until you make the sales. You just need to get, it's like testing out your MVP. So
but how do you get clients before you've started?
Oh, you want to know? Build your personal brand. I'll tell you from experience.
Yeah.
I think I've had it really easy in businesses. Like every business I've launched, super successful. Like Link, I have an event company in Madrid. We help women make new friends. When we launched, I spent zero on paid ads, on anything to sell tickets. Literally made 5 figures our first year. Like
wow.
Easy. Because I built my brand. And I think I have a skewed view on money and on business, because in my head there's a limitless amount of money and I will always succeed in any business I launch. Like when I launched the Creator Pod, 5 figures first week.
All right.
We literally earned 5 figures in our first week. You know why? Because I built my personal brand. And that's why I keep preaching to everyone, build yourself up, become the asset. Because when you have a personal brand, any door you want to go into, any business you want to launch, any opportunity you want is just so much more accessible. And I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm a social media manager, okay? I, Rebecca, have my personal brand. Person B, let's call her Jessica. Jessica doesn't have her personal brand. She's actually probably better than me in managing social media. But I'm going to reach out to clients using my brand. I'm going to show, I literally have a living, breathing proof of how I do content, on how I make top performing content. I have got 2 million views last week just on my content. And there's a brand, let's say it's a tech brand, Google, right? Who are they going to choose? Someone who's unknown, that they're probably not even going to see, or someone that is known, has a proof of their model, a proof that they can do what they say they can do. Like, it's a no-brainer. I would choose someone with a brand.
What the hell is a personal brand?
That's a great question.
Because I think most people, even myself, I don't I hear personal brand all the time. LinkedIn, personal brand, all this kind of stuff. Like, is it just social media? Is it just showing yourself on social media, or like how?
I think a personal brand is what you're known for. So when someone thinks of Oliver Edwards, how do you show up online? How do people know you in one sentence? How do they describe you? Like when people hear my name, they think travel, study abroad, entrepreneur. That's what I want them to think, right? So it's how, I think it's just the sentence, like the how are you known online? How are you known in the world? I'm gonna actually look up the exact definition.
Yeah, because it's interesting. Because personal brand, I think most like listeners out there probably have heard personal brand, but like, how do you actually go from personal brand? What if you don't have anything yet, and you're like, you maybe have experience, maybe have your degree. I can't call myself, an app developer until I've developed an app.
So a personal brand is the image, reputation, and impression that people have of you based on your skills, value, personality, expertise, and how you present yourself to others online. So, like I said, it's what people think of you when they hear your name. And a lot of people don't have a personal brand and they're not online. And so, like, I want to be known. And it just makes life easier. It just does. Like, everything just is easier when you have a following, when you're online. Like, I was in Greece. I wanted to go parasailing. I'll give you a few examples. I was in Greece. There's this like Airbnb experience I wanted to do. It was this like sculpting thing. It was a couple $100s. It was sold out for months in advance. Message them, hey, can I do a video and come? Sure. I want to go parasailing and jet skiing. Hey, can I do a video? I know you guys are sold out. Sure, come. Little things like that. Bigger things, like when you launch a business, it's just easier to get to your target audience because you have that community, because you built your brand.
But what is someone like? What if someone doesn't want to necessarily be constantly on social media? Like, what if someone's quite shy? They don't want to do like vlogs, TikTok vlogs.
Well, then this isn't the podcast for you, and I'm not the person to be listening to.
What if they still can they still achieve a personal brand?
You can ride off the personal brand of someone else if you want to launch a business and use someone else's face. But in the society that we are in now, everyone's online, everyone's social media. There's 8 billion people in the world population, and 2 billion are on TikTok, monthly TikTok users. So if you don't want to access 2 billion people.
Essentially, it sounds like even stuff like TikTok or social media in general is kind of essential for business these days. If you're starting a business.
I think it is. Like, the power of organic social is insane. I spent 6 months researching the TikTok algorithm, writing a thesis on community and how to build a brand using social media. And it was really interesting what I learned. It's like, for example, let me give you guys a rundown of the TikTok algorithm and exactly how it works. Basically, 90% of your views come for the For You page. So what this means is for a new creator, you have the equal chance to go viral as I do, because they push your content out to people that don't know you yet. What's different from YouTube or from Instagram or from Facebook is that it pushes your content out to your followers first. And then if your followers engage and like it, then it pushes it out to more people. That's why they just introduced trial reels on Instagram. Trial reels are a cheat code to blowing up on Instagram because it pushes your content out to random people first. So you're getting millions of views and millions of followers and a lot of engagement from the people that don't follow you first and from people that could actually resonate with your content. Like I started posting my content. I started switching the kind of content I posted on Instagram to travel, all this stuff. Yeah. And it wasn't doing well when it was pushed out to my immediate followers. I started doing trial reels and I literally just had 2 videos get over 100,000 views 2 days ago. But back to TikTok. What's amazing about the algorithm is that it has this concept of siloed clusters. So that's why people are in book talk or fitness talk. Yeah. Right? So it's, if I love books, TikTok knows, it analyzes my user signals. So what am I liking? What am I commenting? What am I sharing? What am I saving? And based on that, it clusters me into different groups. That's why when you're going through a breakup and then you start sending your friends breakup shit, then your whole feed you're in the breakup loop, right? And it's, for some reason, it's the exact situation that you're in. You get those videos. But the point is, you have the opportunity to go viral in different clusters and to grow your page from zero, which is amazing for TikTok. And what I found awesome for a business is like when I was launching Link, I'm not going viral to football players in Africa. I'm going viral to women in Madrid who want to make new friends. And that's what's awesome about TikTok. I just think, yes, it is addicting. Do I scroll a little bit too much? Yes. But I'm human, so give me some grace. Okay? But it's just wonderful platform to grow.
I think what I find really interesting, like you talk about your business Link and like that from me, I mean, explain a little bit about that first, because for me, it sounds like it was, you saw the issue, the problem from the experience you're in. Yeah. And then you use that kind of problem that you had to create actually a business out of it.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, explain kind of.
Well, it was a perfect segue for my brand. So at that time, I was still posting a bunch of study abroad content. And people resonated with my story. I had that community. I had the personal brand. People knew who I was in Madrid. And I initially launched it with a friend. And because we both felt this deep, honestly, pain moving to Madrid, having no female friends, their only like kind of get together events that there was in Madrid was parties, clubs, whatever. And I just it's not how I want to meet people. Yeah. So we created this community, literally sold out first event in the first day. Completely
and what
sold
actually
out.
Is like, what do you do? What do you guys do?
So we basically host different kinds of events. We host Pilates, picnics in the park, trips. We actually I just launched our first surf trip to El Palmar, which is in the south of Spain. Super excited. There's 2 spots left, by the way. But yeah, we help women make new friends, basically. And the reason that the business was so successful so quickly was because I was on social media and I just posted it and it got to the right audience. So
you used your already like kind of TikTok.
I used my brand. I used the personal brand that I built to get success for my business day one.
So if you didn't have your personal brand, like, do you think Link would have?
No, because there's a lot of people trying to copy us now.
Oh, seriously?
Yes. And if it's a competition, they're not going to win because my community comes because they're my community, because they felt the pain I felt.
And so just to go back, you created those events, you just moved to Madrid, you found it's like super difficult to make friends or just to find not even to make friends, just to find your people.
Because the commonality of humans is that we all want connection and we all want entertainment and we all want communication and we want people. Like we're humans. And that's something that's never going to go away. People are always going to want connection and community and entertainment. And that's also something to note when you're starting a business. It's like, how do you serve one of the vital needs of a human being? You know?
what's the first thing before even I have an idea? Like, what's something I guess I need to kind of figure out myself? Do I need to like, where do I start from the beginning? What if I even don't have an idea yet?
So you're a student and you want to start a business, but you don't know what the business is.
Yeah. Because I feel like there are a ton of people out there who would have, they see the life, they see like, starting a business. They really love, I think there's a statistic that I'll have on the screen, like maybe like 73%, that if I got that correctly, I'll be surprised. I think 73% of like students, graduates, Gen Z in general, they want to start their own businesses. But again, it's that first hurdle, even before the idea, just like, is it a mental change you need to have? Like, what was it? I mean, starting businesses from what, 8 years old? How, try to think back. I know it's a long time ago, but to like that first business you made, maybe as things have changed now, but like, what is that first what was the first hurdle, I guess?
I think a big thing is knowing your intention, because I feel like people sometimes do things because they think they should do it, not because they actually want to. It's like sometimes I did things or businesses or career paths because I'm like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do, or this is what my parents want me to do, or this is what I should be doing. But do you actually want to do that? And I mean, obviously your first step is to find an idea. I think the easiest thing before doing a business is just like pushing yourself to, actually, let me tell you, before starting a business, you need to acquire skills. And you need to get these skills to be able to feed into this business, whether that's email, copywriting. I think an amazing skill, content. These are essential skills when you want to start a business that I think you need. I know you need to succeed. This one's obvious, but confidence. If you can speak confidently to whether that's investors or clients or whoever it is, to the point where people believe what you say, even if it's untrue, you need to, it's like that fake it till you make it thing. You need confidence. I think content's another amazing skill, because then you learn how to speak to the camera, you learn how to speak to people, you learn how to create content for your business. Because the other thing with content is like, you need to understand how to do a good hook, right? I think all life is a hook, whether that's sales, a first impression, something you're writing, I don't know, a text. It's all a hook. Like, it's all, how do I capture people in? How do I get their attention? How do I make them intrigued and interested? Yeah. So you need confidence. You need, I would say, amazing content skills and sales. Sales is an amazing skill to learn. You don't need to buy a $6,000 sales course, read a couple books and start practicing, because another reason that you need confidence is you can't succeed in sales if you're like, do you want to buy my product? No, like speak with attitude, speak with this passion. And I find that's why I'm so successful, because I just have this like passion and I'm very confident in myself and the things that I've learned.
But that confidence you get, I guess the confidence in your own business, you'll get, like you were saying, I agree. If you actually start learning the skills that, tons of these skills we wouldn't have learned in university. I never learned sales.
They don't teach you any of the essential skills in school to succeed. They teach you the skills that you need to go feed you back into a regular 9-to-5 and feed you back into this like rat race. That's what they teach you.
So having these extra skills gives you the confidence to then be like, okay, I have pretty much, I guess, the skills to back me up and the skills to back up this decision and put confidence in the decision I'm making.
And you know what gives you more confidence? Building a personal brand. Like, I'm so serious. If you want to succeed in 2026, you need a personal brand. You need a community, and you need people that believe in you. Because being a ghost, no one knowing who you are, that makes life 10 times harder. Every single influencer launches a brand. Every single podcaster, they all have all this success because they've built their community and their brand of people that trust and believe in them.
What's the biggest lie people believe about building a personal brand?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Thank you.
It's a really fucking good question.
It is, right? Wrote it down myself.
You got me thinking
hard.
You know what? I think the biggest thing actually holding people back from building a personal brand is fear of judgment. Because a lot of people are like, because when you start from zero, your probably friends are going to laugh at you. Your family's going to judge you. They're going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? But then when you make it, they're like, oh, remember when we were good friends?
Genius. Yeah.
Like, I told one of my students this the other day, I told her, what's more important to you? Your dream or this fear holding you back? Are you going to look back and regret pursuing your dream, or you're going to look back and regret not doing it because you were too scared. And the next thing that I talk about is what costs more, the price or the cost of inaction? Like the price of this investment into your dream or this cost of waiting and not starting? Because every day you don't start, every day you're too scared is a day you're losing to reach your goal and to reach your dream. Boom.
Boom.